Since the deadly beating of Sacramento native Tyre Nichols at the hands of Memphis police, there has been a renewed focus on violence and accountability in policing. In April of 2021, Sacramento put a new watchdog in place, and he's been investigating incidents involving the police department. Thanks for joining us for Fox 40 News at 5:30. I'm Nikki Lorenzo. In his first interview since getting settled into his new role, Fox 40's Karma Dickerson finds out what he's uncovered, what he's working to uncover, and what the public still doesn't know.
Though Dwight White has been showing up to scenes where an officer shoots another person for nearly 2 years, he still finds himself in a unique position.
I'm kind of the first person to ever maybe disagree with a police officer's decision.
To be clear, the position itself is a first. In the wake of George Floyd's death at the hands of Minneapolis police, the protest that brought Sacramento to a halt, and the efforts at reform that followed, Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg added a new position to city staff in 2020, Inspector General.
We're really building something here.
White, an attorney and licensed investigator originally from Chicago, says he has 3 main duties. First, reviewing complaints citizens make against police. The allegations fall into more than 15 categories, ranging from rudeness to unjustified arrests and improper searches. In 2022, members of the public made 799 complaints against Sacramento police, according to the Office of Public Safety and Accountability. White estimates he reviewed 85% of those complaints, then compared his findings with Sacramento police internal investigations of the same incidents.
For the most part, we usually can agree on an outcome that I think is beneficial to the citizen and also fair to the police officer.
He also works on special investigations. This month, he plans to finish an audit of police searches and seizures. Accusations of Fourth Amendment violations made up 21% of complaints against Sacramento police in 2022. By far, the most common complaint against the department in the last 2 years. But scenes like this are at the heart of what brought White to Sacramento.
Officer-involved shootings, serious use of force allegations, and also the death in custody.
As of this morning, there have been 9 of those incidents since White started his investigative duties. He's completed summaries for 3 of the cases and is working with the director of the Office of Public Safety and Accountability to finalize those reports.
What did you find in those 2 shootings? What would you say?
I'm not sure I can get into details as of right now, but the goal has always been to make some type of presentation to City Council or to the Police Commission.
Which brings us to a persistent predicament in the pursuit of public trust: timeliness. Investigations into most serious incidents regularly take well over a year in Sacramento. The Inspector General's reports cannot be made public until police and district attorney, also the city manager, have completed their reviews.
Do you feel that as you're doing these reports and doing this investigation that there's someone actually looking at them, paying attention to what's in them, and using it in a way that benefits public safety and public trust?
I think because it's such a new position, the city is still learning how to kind of use the work that I'm doing to help them in other areas.
And in the midst of yet another national conversation about police use of force, this time surrounding Sacramento native Tyre Nichols, White believes his role is helping to bring about the change some continue to demand.
It does take time, but I believe that we're turning a corner.